sinto amor quando a saudade aperta.
Hello my friends, in this new series I'm going to cover the classic morphs of ball pythons. I'm going to start with the Super Pastel Bold that I bought last year in mid-August 2018 at the reptile store. They told me this female is carrying the bold gene, but as I am still a little bit inexperienced in identifying that gene, I'm just going to analyze the phenotype of this beautiful ball python as a super pastel. Of course I am biased, this is my ball python and I think she is gorgeous. My apologies for not having a normal ball python or a wild type, nor a pastel jungle in my collection, but as soon as I hatch one of those I will keep them for my own pets. The pastel morph was first proven by Greg Graziani in 1997, and 2 years later at the facilities of Nerd, Kevin McCurley proved out the homozygous form, the Super Pastel Jungle. The Super Pastel Jungle is the homozygous form of the Pastel Jungle. The jungle part of the name fell off during the years and we now call them pastels. So this means that this female here has two copies of the morph pastel. On the heterozygous form she is seen as a pastel jungle ball python, and when they have two copies of the morph or two copies of the gene, they are slightly different, as we will analyze in a couple of minutes, and it's what we call the super form of the pastel. We call it the Super Pastel Jungle. One of the forms that we can use to identify a super pastel is the blushing on the head. This one does not have a very big blushing, but you can see the whiteness on some scales here at the hand stamp. They make like a little X or a butterfly. So that is characteristic of the Super Pastel Jungle. Comparatively to the single morph pastel, the Super Pastel Jungle has fairly bit more yellow in the body, not so much that orangey color, and as they get older with age, these tones tend to fade a little bit. So the way that we can identify a super pastel is with looking at the blushing on the top of the snake. We call this the blushing. The blacks are faded away. There are some black line here on the side of the pattern. As we can see, it's a dark black, but there is a lot of blushing on the center of these. There is a lot of blushing on the center of these spots here, and that is characteristic of the Super Pastel. It's really blushed here on the side, on the top. On the sides we call it flaming. So this is a good example of the flaming of the snakes. It's the black color, so to speak, is not as strong, and it's like as if it is competing with the lighter colors. And let me see on the other side. Oh, this is a very good example of flaming. There is a lot of flaming on the sides of these Super Pastel Jungles. As a characteristic of ball pythons, they have these alien heads. They are not all perfect. Some look like a single, what we call the alien head with a single keyhole, but I have a couple others here. This one is an alien head with two keyholes. I know on this side there is a better looking one. So this is another funky alien head with two keyholes. That's why we call them alien heads, because they really look like a an alien. So this one is pretty cool. And the alien heads are a characteristic of this morph. What I notice is that on the outside of the alien head there is a line of dark color, of blacks, and on the inside there's a little bit of lighter color of the white trying to come out, fighting with the orange and the yellows on the center. So on the center of the alien head, the yellows are predominant. On the still inside the alien head, the white, we can observe a little bit of the white stripe, but on the outside it's a clear black stripe. Let's check another one. So we have the black on the outside and a little bit of white on the inside. Alright, regarding the belly, the Super Pastel Jungle presents a very clean belly. She is very whitish belly, and I can see the belly pink, going pinkish when she is in blue. So let me try and show you guys the whole belly. Very clean, and there's a couple of black dots here from the flaming next to the between the belly and the side of the snake. It's the pattern starting to break into the rest of the body. Let's check this side. So she's a good example of a Super Pastel Jungle ball python, my little female. She is now around 1 kilo. She came to me with 200 grams about 1 year ago, and I like this little mama very much. Another thing that I notice on the Super Pastel is the light color on the stripe here next to the eyes. We have one top stripe and one at the bottom. Oh, come on, hold still. And this is characteristic of the Super Pastel. It's a lighter morph, brings a lot of yellows, and she has a very clear stripe on the eye. And in terms of the lips, see if the camera is focusing well, it's light colored lip. On the bottom it's also light colored. It has a little bit of some dark spots here on the side, starting to make the pattern. And in terms of head stamp, as I mentioned before, it has this really blushed stamp here on top. There are some other ball pythons that are Super Pastel, some other exemplars that have much more blushing here, but this one, I like her. She has the connection between the eye stripes, and it's making a stripe along the neck of the snake, then it starts breaking up. In terms of eye color, she has some brownish eyes. I wouldn't say green nor totally dark, but she has brownish eyes, which is, I believe, I'm still learning about this, but I'm assuming it's characteristic of the Super Pastels to have brown eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, the first of many more videos about ball python morphs that I want to do. This is the whole purpose of my collection. I want to collect the classical morphs, and I am starting with the Super Pastel Jungle. See you on the next video, guys.